Welcome to Books and Brew, the podcast where we dive into the worlds of authors, books, and the art of storytelling. Join us for in-depth interviews with celebrated authors, insightful book reviews, and practical tips on marketing your literary masterpiece. After over 20 years of publishing magazines, I, your host, Rebecca Paciorek, am thrilled to be able to work within my dream of promoting authors and their books. Whether you're a seasoned writer or just starting your journey, we've got something for you. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's explore the fascinating world of books together. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Books and Brew, the official podcast for Authors Allies by Blue Dot Digital Marketing. I am so happy to have you here today for one of our first episodes. Today, we are going to talk about the 3 things that you can do this year to increase your book sales. I know you all are really waiting for this. Many of you are juggling a million things, just like I am. Most authors have day jobs, families. You might even have other creative projects you're doing. So we're going to focus on 3 super actionable steps that you can take this year to get your books flying off the shelves. Are you ready? All right, let's do it. Step 1 is I want you to work on building your email list. Think of that like your personal book club, but way cooler, right? It's your direct line to your biggest fans. And these are the people who are genuinely interested in what you have to say. And they're also the same people who are probably going to buy that next book and also are willing to share information with their crowd. And so having an email list is really important for nurturing those relationships that you already have, as well as boosting sales. You know, you can announce new releases, you can run pre-order campaigns, and you can also offer exclusive discounts to your email subscribers. The other reason you want to build an email list, and if you've listened to me for a while on any of my other social media channels, is that social media is not owned by you. Anything but your email list and your website, those other platforms are rented ground. And I think we've all heard horror stories by now of people who have had their social media platforms shut down without notice. We don't know what's happening with TikTok just yet. Things kind of go back and forth on that one. So owning an email list is really important because it's yours. You own that list and no one can take that away from you. So this year, if you don't have an email list, or even if you do have an email list, start with a freebie, even if it's a short story, a chapter excerpt, some sort of worksheet related to your book's theme, but offer something to your readers to get them to give you their email list. And then make sure that you do email them now and then. There's nothing really that's going to help you with your email list if you just get those emails and leave them sitting there, okay? Even if you start small with just 1 email a month, that's enough to keep you in their email box, right? Now, really, ultimately, I'd like you to be emailing your people at least once a week, but start with once a month if this feels overwhelming to you, okay? All right. There are some blogs on my website about this if you have questions. And you can also always shoot me an email, info@authorsallies.com, if you need some suggestions. All right, so step 2. Step 2 is really important. If you've already got a book out there, make sure that it is the absolute best product it can be. Now, I don't want you to get insulted by that. There are some things that everyone can do to probably make their books better. I know I have several journals on Amazon, and I'm in the process of redoing some things for those myself. So I too always have places and ways to improve on my products, right? The thing about the book is don't underestimate it. Your book itself is a powerful, powerful marketing tool, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can do with that. One of my clients, actually my very first book client, Danielle Lincoln Hanna, is the author of the Mailboat series. And she has done a fabulous job. She hires a designer to do all of her covers. So right off the bat, her stuff is looking good, right? As far as her book goes. So you can see she has a fabulous cover. She has a fabulous back. All of it looks really good. Okay. Now, the thing that I really like that she has worked hard on this year is getting her back matter to be very useful in her marketing. So she's got, and you probably will have a hard time seeing this. And of course, if you're listening on audio only, you won't see it. But she's got QR codes at the back for her next book. So she's taking you directly to your next purchase. She's got a QR code in the back for a free ebook. So she's taking you to that email list with that free ebook, right? And she even has a QR code that goes to her Patreon. She has a Patreon set up, which is really fun, that you can read the book as she writes it. And so these are some ways that just by adding these few pages at the back of her book, she can potentially increase her income over the years, right? She has paid Patreon. She's going to get people on her email list. They may want to go ahead and buy the next book. She's got a little extra text at the bottom to get people a little excited about just learning more about her and joining that Patreon. And then she's got her acknowledgments and the other books that she writes. This didn't take a whole lot for her to do. Now, I know that once she switched to the hardback book and created that of course, takes a little time to go from ebook to soft bound to hardback, right? But once you come up with those extra pages that can go in the back, you can just keep reusing those and updating those as you go along. And so really, really, it's important to use your back matter and use your book itself as a marketing tool. You wrote a book, hopefully you're going to write more, and you want to sell those, right? Like you didn't just write a book to just put it on your own bookshelf. Maybe you did, and that's great. But if so, that's probably not what you're wanting to find out about, by listening to this podcast. Most authors want to sell more books, and using your book as its own marketing tool is a fabulous, fabulous way to do that. The third tip that I want to give you today is to use other people's audiences. Now, this one is a little different and a little more interesting and can be complex, but there are lots of ways you can do this. And again, don't overwhelm yourself too much. If you feel freaked out by it, start with just one thing, okay? The simplest way to me to use other people's audiences is to be on their podcasts. You can use a program called Podmatch to get matched up with podcasters who may be interested in having you as a guest. The other thing you could do is find a buddy and swap email lists. Like maybe, for instance, you have a friend who also writes in the same genre, or maybe they write in a totally different genre. But if you have a friend who either has an email list or product that's related to what you wrote about, or is another author who they may have readers that are interested in your book as well, maybe you guys can swap and put like a little link and ad in each other's newsletters, right? You could also do the same thing on their social media. An additional way that you can use other people's audiences that I have found really helpful for me in the last year is to get involved in some bundles or collaborations. There are several great Facebook groups that are always listing bundles and collaborations that you can join up in. The other thing that you can do to learn about these is to get the least expensive BookFunnel account. And I believe that's only $20 still this year. And at least investigate. By joining BookFunnel, you can see all of the potential bundles and newsletter swaps that other authors are looking to do. And you can really grow your list like that. Now, in order to do a bundle or, something on BookFunnel like that, you are going to need some sort of interesting freebie to give away. This could be a free book. This could be a short novella even, possibly a couple of chapters. It really depends on what the bundles are looking for. So you'll need to be particular when you are looking at those. To do a quick recap on what we talked about today. Number one, grow your email list. Number two, use the book itself, particularly the back matter, as the fabulous marketing tool that it is. And number three, is to use other people's audiences. This is a great way to jumpstart your sales for this year or any time that you are listening to this podcast. I hope that you got a few good tips today. Be sure to check the show notes because I will have a quick recap of all of that. I'll put some links in there for you. And then if you are interested in becoming a member of the Authors Allies Roundtable, Done With You Marketing Membership, shoot me an email, info@authorsallies.com, and I'm happy to give you a free trial membership. Hope you have a great day. Stay warm out there. And thank you again for listening to the Books and Brew podcast.
Tired of drowning in marketing tasks? Stressed about book launches and social media? You're not alone. The Authors Allies Roundtable, Done With You Marketing Membership is your escape. Join a community of authors who understand. Learn proven strategies for creating captivating media kits, running successful ad campaigns, and hosting unforgettable book launches. Weekly meetings, also recorded for your convenience, cover everything from email, marketing, and social media mastery to in-person event planning. Plus, access a treasure trove of worksheets, templates, and resources designed to simplify your marketing efforts. Stop trading precious writing time for marketing madness. The Authors Allies Roundtable is your path to stress-free, profitable writing. Visit www.authorsallies.com to learn more and join today.
Stay warm out there. Share your brew and share the podcast too. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. That's all for this episode of Books and Brew. We hope you enjoyed our exploration of the literary world. Be sure to stay tuned for our next episode where we'll have more fascinating interviews, book reviews, or marketing tips. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Leave us a review and share us with a friend. Oh yeah, and to get your free copy of our ebook, 10 Steps to Your Ultimate Book Marketing Plan, head over to our show notes and snag the link. Until next time, happy reading, writing, and brewing.